So we got another NFL video. I've been loving the NFL videos recently, and I found another one. It's from another page called Football Explainer. Every unbreakable NFL record explained in 16 minutes. Let's get into it, chat.
Most passing touchdowns in a single game, 7. On the surface, 7 touchdowns in one game doesn't sound that crazy. In an era where offenses are passing more than ever, and quarterbacks are throwing for 5,000-yard seasons like it's a hobby, you'd think this record would fall once a season. But it hasn't.
Really?
It's been tied 8 times. Legends like Peyton Manning, Drew
8 times it's been tied, but nobody has broken it.
Brees, and Joe Cap, if you know, you know, have all done it. Even Nick Foles did it, but no one has ever hit 8. Why? Because coaches ease off the gas. Teams play conservative when they're up big. You throw 5 touchdowns and people start tweeting GOAT emojis.
Yeah,
you throw
facts.
6, and the backup is already warming up. Defenses today are built to adapt. So yeah, someone might tie this again. But break it? Probably never.
Nah. That's probably true too, though. Like he said, like it's probably unlikely.
Rushing yards in a single game.
Somebody might do it.
296. Adrian Peterson.
Bro,
Let's
that's
paint the
300
scene. It's
yards.
2007. Rookie Adrian Peterson walks into a game against the Chargers and absolutely loses his mind. 296 yards. No overtime. No tricks.
No overtime? I for sure would have thought at least 1. No overtime?
Just raw speed, vision, and violent, angry running. He didn't run like he was playing football. He ran like the ball owed him money, and the Chargers had no answers. What makes this record unbreakable isn't just the number.
Saquon.
It's how the position has changed.
He's nice too.
Running backs today don't get enough touches. They split carries. They're used in the pass game.
That's true
If
too.
someone runs for 150 yards now, they're practically getting a game ball and a post on the team Instagram. To break
Facts.
Peterson's record, a back would need 30-plus carries, a defense made of cardboard, and an offensive coordinator who refuses to throw the ball no matter what.
Yeah, that's true.
And that just doesn't exist anymore.
Yep.
Unless we go back in time, or Adrian Peterson comes out of retirement for one last game. Most receiving yards in a single game, 330.
Yeah, 300 yards rushing, and he said receiving yards 336. That could, I don't know, cause that's a lot of just one player getting the ball. Like a lot of these records is just like, cause even they're so old, but it's like a lot of teams now are built for balance. You know, like he was just saying, like they're mostly balanced. Back in the day, it was like you may have like 1, 2 good receivers. But you know that running back is the dog. We gonna make sure to run our offense through him. But if we need to pass, and if they block it, if they stack in the box and put an 8 in there, you feel me? Then we could throw the ball. But now teams is just more balanced. You gotta have good receivers. You gotta have a good running back. You gotta have a good tight end. You gotta have good O line. You feel me? Teams just have to have an all around game, or you're not gonna be able to win.
6, Flipper Anderson. First of all,
Flipper
yes,
Anderson?
That's
Who
a
was
real
that?
336, Flipper Anderson. First of all, yes, that's a real person. And yes, he really dropped 336 yards in a single game back in 1989.
Damn,
no TikTok, no Instagram,
no
just
nothing.
vibes and deep roots. Flipper Anderson was a decent receiver with Olympic speed. But on that day, he was unstoppable. He averaged over 30 yards per catch. His quarterback couldn't
over 30 yards per catch. 30
miss, and the Saints secondary might as well have been ghosts. Even with overtime helping boost the numbers, it was still a perfect storm. And here's the thing, even modern legends haven't touched it. Calvin Johnson got close. So did Julio Jones. But the way NFL defenses adjust today, no receiver is getting that many deep shots without getting double-teamed, jammed, or just straight up ignored by their quarterback. This wasn't just a stat line. It was lightning in a bottle. And we probably won't see it again unless someone completely glitches the simulation. By the way, I'm going to be posting a lot here. So it would mean a lot if you subscribed and dropped a like for the algorithm. This dude's
pretty cool though.
Most sacks in a single game.
No, 7. Okay, this could be broken, right? This could be 7. Like, come on, bruh. I mean, unless somebody just like, okay, our quarterback's getting fucking hurt. Like, we gotta pull him out. You feel me?
Derek Thomas. Derek Thomas was a menace.
What's his name? Was it Aiden Hutchinson almost there this past year?
1990, he lined up against the Seattle Seahawks
4 or 5.
and decided that 7 times in one game he would sack the quarterback. And not just little pushovers either. Clean, violent, game-changing sacks.
Oof.
He basically built a real estate portfolio inside the Seahawks backfield. 7 sacks in one game. That's not just dominance, that's disrespect. You'd have to be in another dimension of pass rushing to replicate that today. The modern game doesn't even allow for it. Quarterbacks get the ball out faster.
True.
Offensive linemen train like MMA fighters.
True.
Holding calls are rare. The window to make contact is smaller, and if you breathe on the QB wrong, it's 15 yards and a personal
Facts.
apology.
That is
Most
true.
interceptions.
That is true. That is true. But I want to see real quick. I just want to look this up real quick. Aiden Hutchinson sacks last year. He averaged 7.5. Says most sacks was against the Buccaneers. He finished with 4.5, so he almost had 5. That's what the one I was thinking. I was like, bro, I know Aiden had him a big game. 8 intercept, bro. You tell me Jameis Winston didn't do that this year?
Thrown in a game.
He didn't throw it.
Jim
Jameis
Hardy.
didn't throw that this past year.
This record exists because the NFL used to be lawless. Back in 1950,
Lawless?
Jim Hardy threw 8. Yes, 8 interceptions in a single game. And he played the whole thing. That's not a bad day. That's a full collapse. Today, a quarterback throws 3 picks and the backup is doing stretches. 4 picks, you're trending on Twitter. 5, you're doing interviews about how you're learning from it. But 8? In modern football, that literally cannot happen.
Yeah, that won't happen.
Not because QBs are better, but because coaches, fans, and even teammates won't let it. This record isn't unbreakable because it's hard to do. It's unbreakable because no coach would ever allow it to get that far.
Yeah, never.
Jim Hardy
Never.
was a different breed.
Different breed.
Most rushing yards in a season, 2,105. Eric Dickerson.
Yep.
Eric Dickerson.
Hey, Saquon was right there. If he didn't sit out that last game, he would have broke it. Real shit. So even though this one, he may not say that, he may say it's unbreakable, but last year Saquon was literally just one game away, and they sat him out for it.
Ran like he was trying to catch a flight. And in 1984, he didn't just lead the league in rushing.
Hey, those
he
glasses
lapped
are dope.
it. 2,105 yards in 16
He
games.
ran with the glasses on too? Damn, that's tough.
With a single bar helmet that looked like it belonged in a museum. What makes this record wild is that it came in an era where teams ran the ball because they had to, not because it was trendy. Dickerson was the offense. 30 carries a game.
30
No load
carries.
management, no 3-back committees. In today's NFL, no running back is getting an
He came close. See, that's what I'm saying. Saquon last year came very close. Very close.
enough touches to flirt with this number. They'll be split with a receiving back, or rested in blowouts, or rotated out to preserve their knees for the playoffs, or their next team. Derrick Henry came close, but even King Henry ran
Woo! Very close. Very close. Oh, it says on pace for.
out of gas. Unless the NFL turns into a Navy offense overnight, Dickerson's record is staying right where it is, on the shelf, untouched, and still wearing goggles. Most receiving
those
yards in a
goggles
season,
with the
1,964.
Calvin, bro.
Johnson.
He's nasty.
Calvin Johnson wasn't just a receiver, he was a glitch in real life.
Megatron.
In 2012, Megatron posted 1,964 yards
2,000
in a
yards.
single
You
season.
might as well say.
And no, this wasn't in 17 games. It was in 16. With Matthew Stafford force-feeding him the ball like it was Thanksgiving dinner, he was double-teamed, triple-teamed, bracketed, and it didn't matter. He still came down with jump balls like he was playing with magnets. Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, and Tyreek Hill have all made solid runs at this, but no one's broken it. Why? Because defenses adjust, game plans shift. Teams start calling 3-yard screens in the fourth quarter instead of taking deep shots to pad stats. Calvin had the rare combo of volume, talent, and a team bad enough to keep throwing every down. If this record ever breaks, it'll take another once-in-a-generation receiver on a team willing to abuse the stat sheet. Until then, it's Megatron's world. Most receiving touchdowns in a season, 23. Randy Moss. Let's set the stage. It's 2007. Tom Brady is on a mission. Randy Moss is back from Oakland football exile and mad at the world. The Patriots are angry, surgical, and out for blood.
Remember this from the video.
The result? 23 touchdowns in one season
And Brady threw
by
50.
one receiver. That's not a stat. That's a nightmare for defensive coordinators. Since then,
40 or
not
something
a
like that.
single player has come within 3 touchdowns of this record.
Yeah, Jamar was going off last year.
Not even close.
But not even
And
yeah,
here's
it's
the
not
real
close.
reason it'll probably never be broken. Today's offenses are balanced. WR1s get attention, but WR2s and tight ends eat too. Teams spread the ball. Coaches don't need to force one guy the ball in the red zone anymore. In 2007, Randy Moss was the red zone. To break this, someone would need 1. A Hall of Fame QB, 2. An MVP season, and 3. A team that doesn't care about being nice, that's rare air, and Randy's still floating above it. Most sacks in a season, 22.5.
22?
Michael Strahan did it first. TJ Watt tied it, but neither hit 23. And that's what makes this record brutal, because sacks are hard. You need opportunity, skill, consistency, and just enough
Some
luck
luck.
to avoid
Yeah,
getting held
some
on every
luck,
play.
too.
Strahan's record is legendary
Being held is
and
fucking
controversial.
ass for them
People
boys.
swear Brett Favre took a dive to give him the final sack. Watt did it legit, but in a 17-game season. So the debate rages on, but either way, the number still stands. 22.5. And that's with guys like Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Myles Garrett, all elite rushers who've never cracked it. Quarterbacks get the ball out faster now. Schemes are built to neutralize pressure. Even when you beat your man, you've got half a second to actually get to the QB before he throws it into the dirt. 22.5 is the mountaintop, and it's lonely up there.
It's
Most
lonely.
interceptions in a season, 14.
14?
Night Train Lane.
Oh my
This record is so
gosh,
old.
Night Train Lane, man.
The NFL still had teams
14?
called the Yanks when
The
it was
Yanks.
set. Night Train Lane picked off 14 passes in one season as a rookie.
That's
He did this
insane.
in an era where quarterbacks threw
Or
like they
cheeks.
were playing darts
what I'm saying,
blindfolded,
cheeks.
and receivers didn't wear gloves. The ball was barely spiraling. Defenses weren't even pretending to disguise coverage.
Bo was catching the ball and was like this. Thank you. Bo was catching the softest balls ever, bro.
So why will no one ever match it now? Because quarterbacks don't throw picks like that anymore. Elite corners don't get targeted. And when they do, it's once or twice a game.
Yep.
You'd have to be a shutdown corner and a ball hawk and play on a defense that forces a ton of throws. The closest modern example, Trevon Diggs with 11 in 2021,
Hey.
and he was getting torched on every other snap. You
Torched.
can't play risky enough to get 14 today and still keep your job. Night Train's record belongs to a different world. Most career receiving yards, 22,895, Jerry Rice. Let's just say it, this one's never being touched. Jerry Rice
Really?
didn't just break the record, he sent it into orbit.
That's a lot of
22,895
receiving
receiving
yards.
yards.
That is a
That's
lot
over
of-
13 miles of catching footballs.
13 miles. God damn.
To put that in perspective, if a current receiver had 1,500 yards
For 15 straight seasons, 1,500 yards.
every year for 15 straight seasons, they'd still fall short. No one has that combination.
What? 22,899, and he said 1,500, 10 years. Yeah, that's only 15,000 yards. Whoa. So what? Some seasons he had to have like over 2,025 hard. Wait, oh my.
To put that in
gosh.
perspective, if a current receiver had 1,500 yards every year for 15 straight seasons,
Oh,
they'd
15
still fall
straight. I put 10. That's only 22,500. That's still short.
short. No one has that combination of talent, health, and insane work ethic anymore. Rice played for 20 years. At age 40, he had 800 plus yards.
age 40. This man still had 1,200 yards. Bo was like LeBron in the NFL.
At age 41, he was
playing at 41?
Still running routes crisper than half the league. This isn't just a football record. It's a test of time, genetics, and obsession. Megatron retired early. Julio got hurt. Hopkins fell off. But Rice? He just kept going and going and going. You don't catch Jerry Rice. You admire him from 10,000 yards behind. Most consecutive games with a reception.
Jerry Rice.
274, also Jerry Rice. This record is the football version of never missed a day. 274 straight games with a catch.
274 games. Wow. Wow.
That's 17 full seasons without a single off day, injury gap, or goose egg.
17 seasons? That's a lot. That's not even possible. That's nowhere near possible today. That's not. Yeah, that for sure won't be broken. For sure. 17 seasons straight. A receiver. That's not even. But what? Receivers get hurt like it's a toe. You feel me? Like, come on, bro.
It's not just about skill. It's about durability, consistency, and never being irrelevant in a game plan. Even when he was the WR3, even when the team was stacked, even in garbage time, Rice got his. In today's NFL, players rest more. They sit out more.
Yep.
Offensive schemes rotate more.
Yep.
There's always a game where the top WR gets blanketed.
Yep.
Or they're decoyed.
Yep.
Or they miss a week with a sore hamstring. But Jerry? He never had those days. He was always open. To break this, you'd need a receiver who never misses a snap, never gets shut out, and plays until they're 40. In other words, you'd need Jerry Rice again.
Exactly.
Most career passing yards, 89,214, Tom Brady. Brady didn't just beat the passing record. He moonwalked over it with avocado toast in one hand and 7 rings in the other. He passed Breeze, then passed Peyton, then passed Logic. 89,214 yards is video game stuff.
Yeah, that's wild.
He played for 23 seasons. He took a whole Hall of Fame career and added another one on top of it. To break this...
Yeah, facts. No, Tom Brady, his career is actually outstanding. Like, even though some people may not like him, and I'm not the biggest fan of his career is outstanding. Let me go grab my daughter from outside real quick, chat. Give me 1 second.
a quarterback would have to start at 22, never miss a season, average 4,500 yards every year, and somehow still be elite at 44. No one's doing that. Not Mahomes, not Burrow, not Josh Allen. Brady's passing yards record is the NFL's Mount Everest, and the oxygen's thin up there. Most career wins as a QB, 251, also Brady. This isn't just a good stat, it's sickening. 251 wins. That means double-digit wins for 25 straight years.
Double-digit wins for 25 years.
And he only played for 23. This is where Brady separates himself from everyone else. He wasn't just great, he was great forever. Think about how hard it is to win 10 games in one season. Now imagine doing that every year without fail, while half the league crumbles
every year
around you. Every quarterback has slumps, down years, coaching drama. Brady had all of that, and still won. To beat this, a quarterback would need 20 plus years of health, dominance, and help. And even then, they'd probably still fall short. Most career sacks, 200, Bruce Smith. This is a record that even the best edge rushers today might only reach if they clone themselves. Bruce Smith was a technician, a machine. He played for 19 years and never slowed down. The closest active player is Von Miller, and he's still 40 sacks away. That's how far away this record is. You'd need double-digit sacks per year, no missed seasons, no injury dips, no slow exits. And even then, it'd be close. Bruce Smith didn't just pass Reggie White. He passed the blueprint. Now, it's just him. Alone at the top of Sack Mountain. Most kickoff return touchdowns in a career. 10. Josh Cribbs and Leon Washington. Kick returns used to be electric. You'd see someone catch the ball 5 yards deep in the end zone, sprint full speed into 11 human wrecking balls, and somehow score. Guys like Josh Cribbs and Devin Hester made it art. But now, kickoff returns are basically gone. With the new kickoff rules, touchbacks encouraged, wedge blocks banned, and returns designed to be rare. Nobody's getting enough chances. You can be the fastest man alive, but if the ball's sailing out the back of the end zone every time, it doesn't matter. This record didn't just age, it got retired by the league. You can tie it, but breaking it? Only if the NFL starts kickoffs from the 10-yard line again, which won't happen. Most fair catches in a game. 7, multiple players. This one's hilarious because it only exists due to sheer absurdity. You have to imagine a punter having the game of his life, just bombing balls into the sky while the returner stands there like, yup, fair catch, again. 7 times. Today, that number is nearly unbreakable because teams don't punt that much anymore. And when they do, most returners let it bounce. To tie this record, your offense would need to be trash. Your punter would need to be elite, and the other team's gunners would have to be coming in like heat-seeking missiles. To break it, you'd need a time machine, a coaching staff with no fourth down confidence, and a punt returner with nerves of steel. Most touches in a season, 492, James Wilder. James Wilder is the forgotten workhorse. In 1984, the Bucks gave him the ball 492 times. That's carries and receptions.
Insane.
Today, no team would let this happen.
Never.
The medical staff would file a lawsuit. To match that now, a running back would need 29 touches per game for 17 games with no injuries.
29.
All while still being productive enough to stay on the field. It's not happening. In the modern NFL, running backs are treated like rental cars. Use them just enough, then move on. No one's getting near 500 touches again. That's not just unbreakable. It's borderline unethical. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here.
You're basically putting that man through hell with that. Man, I love these NFL facts, man. That's fire. That was a W video.